It's been over 20 years since Pikachu walked, well, maybe scurried into our lives. Anyway, he's never looked more real, which honestly,
get me the hell out of here!
I can't quite decide is a good or bad thing. But before we get to the pocket monsters,
before we're done, we still have one promise to keep. If you can't protect the Earth, you can be damn sure we'll avenge it.
Holding on to the #1 spot for the third weekend in a row is Avengers In Game, bringing in an estimated $63 million in its third weekend out. After less than a month in theaters, Marvel's magnum opus has made nearly $2.5 billion and is the second highest grossing film in box office history. It's still a long way from the #1 spot, but for a company like Disney and a movie like Endgame, what's $300 million? On to #2.
I don't know. Maybe Harry got in too deep. Mixed up with the wrong crowd, that kind of thing. Look, you can talk to humans. I can talk to Pokemon. And if you want to find your pops, we're gonna need each other.
No, I don't need a Pokemon.
What about a world-class detective? Ah, my clues!
What is all this?
Harry is still alive. Case closed. But still open until I solve it.
Taking the #2 spot this week while simultaneously making every 90s kid's dream come true is Pokemon Detective Pikachu, bringing in an estimated $58 million in its debut weekend.
I wanna be the very best.
While the Pokemon franchise has been an animated series, trading cards, and bed sheets, it started as a video game, which means Detective Pikachu now holds the box office debut record for video game movies. The Detective Pikachu debut is about $10 million better than Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider, which was the previous record holder for a feature film based on a video game franchise. Not only that, but it's far and away the best video game adaptation from a critical perspective. Although I will concede, that's not a high bar to clear. With a 63% on the tomato meter, Detective Pikachu is the first video game movie to get a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And finally, in third place this week is Anne Hathaway's The Hustle, bringing in a better than expected $13.5 million in its debut weekend.
I'm younger than you, better looking than you, thinner than you.
Know your limitations. You are a moron.
This female-driven comedy is based on 1988's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, but it hasn't been as well received as its source material. While The Hustle had a solid opening weekend at the box office, it was panned by critics, managing just a 16% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. As for next week, if you thought John Wick couldn't get any more ridiculous, just wait till you see him on a horse.